Okay, so generative AI, um, you're probably already diving into this world. I mean, it's what makes those crazy realistic AI art generators and like shockingly human-like chatbots possible. But we're not here for the basics. You want to know what's going on under the hood, the tech that makes this stuff tick?
Yeah, for sure.
And let me tell you, when I saw what vector databases can do for generative AI, my jaw basically hit the floor.
I'm intrigued. What made your jaw drop?
Well, imagine telling an AI, like, write me a movie script in the style of Hitchcock, but with a time-traveling cat as the main character, and it actually delivers.
Wow.
That's the kind of wild creativity we're talking about, and it's all thanks to vector databases.
You've definitely piqued my curiosity. I think many
Yeah.
people might be surprised to learn that there's more to generative AI than just the flashy end product.
Exactly. So let's break it down. For anyone who's heard the term vector database and thought, sounds like a sci-fi gadget, you're not alone. But trust me, this is way cooler than any gadget.
Yeah, definitely.
So at its core, generative AI is all about enabling machines to create something new. Not just analyze what's already out there, it's about giving AI a spark of imagination, right? It's the difference between an AI that can tell you about every Beatles song ever written
Right.
and an AI that can compose a brand new tune that sounds like it came straight from Abbey Road.
And that's where vector databases come in. They're like the secret ingredient that unlocks a whole new level of AI creativity. See, traditional databases, the kind most people are familiar with, just aren't built for the kind of complex, nuanced data that generative AI needs.
It's like trying to bake a cake with a toolbox instead of measuring cups and spoons. The raw ingredients are there, but you don't have the right tools to bring them together.
Precisely. Traditional databases are great for storing and retrieving specific facts, but generative AI needs to understand relationships, meanings, and subtle connections between pieces of information. And that's where vector databases really shine.
Okay, so vector database. It sounds kind of intimidating, like something out of the Matrix, but you're telling me this tech is the key to AI composing Beatles-esque tunes. Give me the breakdown. How does it actually work?
Imagine a giant multidimensional spreadsheet. That's one way to visualize a vector database, but instead of just numbers, it stores data as points in space. And here's the kicker. The closer those points are to each other, the more similar they are in meaning or content.
Okay, so it's not just about keywords or tags. It's about understanding the essence of something. Like the database could grasp that a photo of a cat wearing a tiny sombrero is related to cats, holidays, and maybe even Mexican culture, even if those exact terms are nowhere to be found in the image's description.
You're getting it. Now imagine each dimension in this spreadsheet representing a different feature of your data. For images, it could be colors, shapes, textures. For music, it might be tempo, melody, instrumentation. Vector databases understand the nuances of information in a way that traditional databases just can't.
So instead of searching for a needle in a haystack, generative AI is using a vector database to find all the other needles that have a similar weight, sharpness, and metallic composition.
That's a great analogy. And this is huge EE for generative AI, because when a model needs a creative spark, say it's trying to write a poem in the style of Maya Angelou, it can use the vector database to instantly find poems with a similar tone, rhythm, and thematic depth.
So it's like giving AI a superpower, the ability to tap into a whole universe of creative inspiration, all curated and organized by relevance.
And this isn't just about making cool art or music, brother. Scientists are using vector databases to find hidden connections between molecules in drug discovery. It's like having a map of all the possible drug combinations, which could lead to breakthroughs in treating diseases.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, let's walk through the process. We take a bunch of data, text, pictures, music, even scientific data, and turn it into these vectors. Then we choose the right vector database and connect it to our AI model, and poof, instant creative genius.
You've got the right idea. But there is a crucial step between raw data and those insightful vectors. We use embedding models, algorithms trained on mountains of data to understand the relationships between things. Think of it like teaching the database to read and understand information the way humans do.
So it's like teaching the database to speak the language of images or music or even scientific data so it can make those nuanced connections.
Precisely. For example, a word embedding model might learn that king is to queen as man is to woman. Those words would cluster closely together in the vector space.
So it's not just about storing data, it's about teaching the database to think critically about that data. Now that's what I call a smart database.
And this is what makes generative AI so powerful. It's not just mimicking, it's understanding and building upon what it learns.
Okay, but we're just scratching the surface here.
Right.
Like, what gets me really jazzed is where this tech is headed. What's on the horizon for vector databases and generative AI?
One word, explainable AI.
Oh, right. I've heard whispers of this XAI for short. What's the deal with that?
Right now, a lot of AI, especially in the creative space, can feel a bit like a magic show. You put data in, something amazing pops out, but you don't always know how the AI got there. Explainable AI is all about making those decisions transparent, lifting the curtain, so to speak.
So instead of just getting a mind-blowing poem from an AI, we could also get a glimpse into its thought process. Like, I chose this metaphor because it evokes the feeling of X, and I structured the verses this way to create Y effect.
Exactly. We're talking about AI that can not only create, but also explain its creative choices.
hmm
This is going to be huge, not just for understanding how these models work, but also for building trust in AI as a creative partner.
That makes a ton of sense, because right now it can be a little unnerving.
Yeah.
Like, is the AI secretly judging my taste in music? But if it can tell me why it chose to include a banjo solo, suddenly it feels more like collaboration.
And the innovation doesn't stop there. We're also seeing vector databases team up with other cutting-edge AI techniques. Imagine combining the intuitive power of vector databases with the learning capabilities of reinforcement learning.
Hold on, I need to catch my breath. Reinforcement learning. That's where the AI learns by trial and error, like figuring out a maze, right? But how does that play with vector databases?
It's about giving generative AI the ability to not just generate, but also to learn from feedback and improve over time. Imagine an AI designing a logo, getting feedback, and then using that information along with its vector database of design knowledge to generate even stronger options.
So it's like having an AI apprentice that constantly absorbs new information, refines its skills,
Okay.
and becomes a more powerful creative partner with every project.
Precisely. And the possibilities don't end there. Cloud-based solutions are making these tools increasingly accessible. We're on the verge of a world where anyone with an internet connection can tap into the power of generative AI and vector databases.
That's both exhilarating and a little terrifying, isn't it? It's like handing out jetpacks before we've quite mastered riding a bike.
It's true that this technology raises important questions about ethics bias and responsible use, but the potential benefits are enormous.
So to sum it all up for our listeners, vector databases aren't just a fancy new toy in the AI world. They're fundamentally changing how we think about creativity, problem solving, and even what it means to be human in an age of intelligent machines.
It's about augmenting our own abilities, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and exploring new frontiers of knowledge and expression.
It really makes you wonder, what will we create when we combine the power of human ingenuity with the boundless possibilities of AI? Big thanks to you, expert speaker, for taking this deep dive with us. This conversation has definitely given me a lot to ponder.
The pleasure was all mine. Always happy to explore the frontiers of AI.
And to all you deep divers out there, stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll catch you on the next adventure into the world of ideas that matter.